After all this works, one thing we can try adding to this is articulations. An articulation is a stiffer, stronger way to do joints in Omniverse. The tricky thing is that it's kind of not super well integrated yet, so you have to manually eliminate loops inside your armature to be able to use them. What you do is you find a first root body, and you can just do add physics articulation root, and then see if that works, and it does not. And that's because there are these loops inside the articulated system that we need to get rid of. The articulation root can usually just be your root body inside the system. And then let's see, there is a loop here, right? So this joint right here would be a loop closure joint. Let's see if I can pick it. And it's not selecting the way I would prefer right now. So let's find it here. Okay, and then you say exclude from articulation. So for each loop, you have to pick one of the joints in the loop and exclude it. So exclude this one. Then let's see, that means that this one will be our primary branch here from this body. And then we will also have a branch going up like this. And where should we break that root? I'll break that loop. Maybe here. So where is that one? That one will be like yeah, this one, maybe I break it here. That should take care of both of these loops. Then let's see, I can break this guy right here. That's the top spring upper hinge, not this one, but the other one. That's this one. Maybe break this. That takes care of this loop. And then there is this loop over here. And maybe we break this one. So I think if I did it right, that should take care of all of the loops. And yes, it simulates well now. That's good. Now, we still need a couple of additional tricks to make it sufficiently stiff. One thing you can try is, and I will need to do this in the session layer because we put the scene into the session layer. You just need to remember to go back, increase your time steps. So here we have a really high gravity. So maybe I'm going to go to 400 time steps per second. We've always been simulating in this layer, so you need to kind of be careful about like always just simulating in the same layer. You can see with smaller time steps, the whole thing becomes really stiff, meaning that the right solution, the whole thing is written correctly. It just doesn't have enough time for or enough iterations or small enough time steps to converge properly. But now you can see it's really nice and stiff, and we need to put some damping here on the lampshade joints to not make it wiggle around so much. So I will do that. This guy and maybe this guy also. You can do multi-edit operations. So you can do something like add physics angular drive. And you can then do a damping here, like 50 damping, and then hopefully, yeah, look at that. So here, now it doesn't jerk around like that. So it's super nice, and it's very, very stiff now. See, it's like vibrating like that. We can probably go down a bit with that damping, or with the, yeah. And we could now tune these springs back down a little bit, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually just reduce, see how far I can go back to reduce the time steps of the scene again. So 6. Okay. So now it's like springy, and I can kind of pose it, but it's just like still a little bit too weak. So now there's another trick that we can actually add drives like that also to these joints over here to make them also be like tight joints, so that it's you know, like how you would screw this button here on the actual lamp to tighten it up. You can actually do that here in simulation too. So let's find that guy. Where is he? Oop, that's the one. So here we're also going to add physics angular drive. So you basically need to continue playing with it like this, and then you will end up with a posable lamp. You can actually have the filtering settings here, and you can just say you just want to have the joints, and then you just get this list. You can then try to stiffen things up a bit. Maybe also here, like the lamp, oops, the lampshade can become stiffer, yeah. Okay. I think I'm happy with that. There you go. And that concludes our rigging tutorial. Just save off your stage. Make sure you're not still in playback mode when you save it out, otherwise it becomes very hard to undo the simulation. So now that we have done all of these things for all of our joints, and we have even set up the springiness of the lamp correctly, we experimented a little bit with like how much spring constant and how much damping we need for the lamp to stay upright, but still be a bit adjustable during simulation. We are done with our rigging. And with this, I would like to wish you best of luck rigging your own mechanisms. Remember that you can always come on our Omniverse Discord to ask me questions around rigging. But yeah, best of luck. Play around with it. It's really not a horribly complicated process. This tutorial was simply very detailed. If you have any tips that you think that I have forgotten here or that I should add to the next version of my tutorial, then please reach out to me. And yeah, I wish you a lot of fun with Omniverse.